Hi everyone, it's Claire. Happy full buck moon in Capricorn. So this is 21st of July, this is happening. And I've looked at the three astrologers. So Pam Gregory, who's British, Tania Gabrielle, who's also into numerology, who's American, and McCord, who's American. So I get a really nice feel for what's going on when I look at all three. So I'll try and rattle through it. I expect you're aware that it's the second full moon in Capricorn, and Capricorn is very kind of into responsibility, lessons. It's quite strict sometimes. It makes us go over things that we haven't learned properly already, and it's into our responsibilities and timing of things. So, and Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, so it's kind of really linked, and the full moon is in Capricorn, and actually the sun is in Cancer, and they're both at 29 degrees. So that means 29 degrees is the last, basically the last degree of that sign. And what that means is it becomes very more powerful, the sort of essence of that sign that it's linked with. So you'll see that, this probably will begin to feel more strongly for you. And I think I've already done a summary, but Capricorn is very much linked to those things I've summarised. And Cancer is linked to home, family, and what you feel and emotions. So you'll feel kind of this, slight sway between the two. And I looked at Pam Gregory and she had so much in the chart. I was very, very busy. She mentioned mid-July that there would be possible seismic activity, or things like are a bit explosive, like cyber attacks. She mentioned now what's just happened, funnily enough, around was it on the 19th or 20th, we had the Microsoft issue all around the world with systems going down with some glitch thing. Galactic connections, also electromagnetic energy and revolutionary, rebellious energy. And it's also pointing to the fact fixed signs may feel restless and break rules, so be more maverick in their energy. Scorpio, Aquarius, Taurus and Leo might feel that. And obviously she referred actually, I think, to the Trump, or she had explained something to do with what happened with the Trump attempted assassination. And Algol is a star which is very slow moving, or a small planet, and it's connected apparently in kind of mythology with losing the head and leaders becoming dropping from power in some way. And she mentioned this midheaven, which is about politics, and it was kind of linked with it. Then Tania Gabrielle went through that in far more detail, which was very interesting. I think she had timed her video so that, it covered what happened with Trump and the attempted assassination. And she said, well, 15th July, Mars is conjunct with Uranus and at 26 degrees in Taurus, and links with the Algol, the fixed star. And Ptolemy, an ancient, I think, philosopher and astronomer, said it was about authority falling from a high place. And obviously on July the 13th, there was the Trump shooting thing. And really, it was almost, in line with what the stars were saying. Tania mentions, his actual birth chart, and that he's got Mars 26 degrees in Leo. And it linked in with the Algol, Mars, Uranus conjunction, which is quite, very strong, very powerful energy when the planets merge, and then when they pull apart it dissipates. And around that time, very, very strong. And Algol, Uranus, Mars and Trump's midheaven and squaring with Mars was really tense, and it got Mars on his ascendant of fire, and it's a fire sign linked with him, Leo. So almost, pointing to what was going to happen, and it was a warning. So it was very, very interesting. We don't often talk about politics, but sometimes it does leak in because there's so much going on at the moment. And what else do we get? The transit in Pluto, change in leadership with the EU is possible. Pam Gregory, going back to her, was talking about, and also Japan dissolution of identity, and she talked about things changing greatly in the structure of the politics in the USA. The identity of the euro currency, she thinks, may dissolve longer term. She talks longer term. It's interesting that Turkey have now, I think I just saw announced that they've gone over to that. There's another alliance, and they've gone over to the China-Russian alliance. So, politically it's saying quite a lot, really. And they're sort of probably, looking at the EU not being as strong in their eyes. So. And also there's a transiting Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in the US chart with shocks and surprises and this kind of seismic activity thing. And Uranus is linked to shocks and the media. And we've had all that about what's going on, not only in the American presidential campaign, but what would happen with Trump. And she talked about 17th of July, which was last Tuesday, the Sun square to Aries. And Aries is the warrior sister to Mars, who was left out at the wedding and created mayhem, and which led to the Trojan War. So she's very keen that no one is left out and all voices are heard. And Pam's always talking about her, about the rebellious energy and revolutionary energy. And on the 20th and 21st, and today is the 21st when I'm recording this, Aries becomes retrograde, so her symbolism is magnified then in society, and her planet has a very, very slow orbit as well. So when she goes retro, goodness, that's going to kind of affect things a bit. And 20th July, which was yesterday, Mars moved to Gemini, so that was a good day for the mind, creative and writing projects, and that might sort of trickle over to today. Also about polarity in social media, because Gemini, having two aspects. But she warned, watch out for silly tit-tat sort of, spats on social media. So try not to get drawn into them, or try to remember what I'm saying about that. And tit-tat for tat can lead to judgment, and ultimately, in effect, she was saying, the polarity thing can lead to wars. So stay neutral as you can. She talks about being on your eagle's perch, which I think is a great analogy. Observe, learn to be an observer, really, is what she's saying. And that's great training so that we can get to unity, which would really, really help us in the current situation we're in. The full moon in Capricorn is very, very powerful. So it's really more powerful than the last one, which was full moon in Capricorn in June. This one's 29 degrees, as I said, and she quoted 3:17 a.m. Pacific time, 11:17 a.m. British summer time. So we're past that now, actually. And it's that critical anoretic, as they call it, last degree. So the symbolism and urgency of the sign really shows. And it's about Capricorn is linked with government, corporations, big business, power over people, and about power issues in our personal life, possibly about mastering things and discipline and inner authority. And we are sort of really going through, she talks about internalizing our authority. And also Saturn in Pisces, spiritual power. So this moon develops big issues to do with power. And the moon is actually symbolically the people and intense feelings as well. And Pluto in Aquarius is really about the future and egalitarianism and power to the people as well, and linked to the civil rights kind of movements and freedom and emotional security. So there's this crisscrossing going on. She referred to 29 degrees activated by Pluto and crisscrossing in and out of Capricorn and Pluto. And Pluto very much does, I think, reveal the truth and hidden depths. So watch out for that going on. And she talked about really there will be a huge emphasis, really, the smashing out of the old ways and check what's true, focus on what needs attention. And you've got the collective reality created by our consciousness going on, and a huge push on our attention and focus with this shift going to sovereignty, to the inner, not so much the outer. And so being driven by our true inner selves, really, and creating our own, if you like, spiritual world. So she talked about also people feeling a bit more psychic and people realizing what that being psychic is about and experiencing it, and strong willpower, and a T-square between the Sun, Moon, Chiron and Aries. Aries is about truth, justice, rebellious energy. Chiron is kind of about slowing down, possibly being a bit wounded, but looking at the healing in that, victimhood, injustices and not being heard, and sort of highlighting that. And the full moon is about shining bright light onto these things and secrets coming to light as well, really. So, and we become kind of more thinking out of the box and standing in our own power. She talked a bit about dwarf planets, which have 300-year orbit, things like Homer Sedna squaring with Pluto, and about a human metamorphosis. And the dwarf planet Solasa, very much about kind of linking him as with the North Node. So we need to understand as well, she thinks, because Solasa is linked to mermaid energy, what things about water and light. So she thinks there's almost clues in that, water, light, and also actually singing and dancing. She mentioned photons carrying light. She loses me a bit, but she talked about bringing joy with singing and dancing and with water and light. So it's quite interesting. And also about the collapse of the old order. And she talked about second half of 2024 being more chaotic, but just be observant and be in less polarity. And we're kind of creating a new future with love, passion, compassion, and gratitude. And don't give energy to what we don't want. So don't, look at fear. Look more about love and get more love. So if you're in fear, you get more fear. But if you're in love kind of thing, you get more love. Because you see things almost with rose-tinted glasses, but the reality is you create your own reality. So, and we welcome in, you can say we welcome in an expanded consciousness of love. Then we're on to Tania Gabrielle, who's really into numbers as well, numerology. And she talked about Capricorn ruling authority in its 10th house, career, public standing, taking the lead and leadership. And 15th of July, Mars was conjunct with Uranus, the Algol fixed star thing, and what happened with Trump, really, and his, midheaven and warning. And the US Pluto return natal position coming to a head for the USA, Pluto conjunct the full moon and authority, and really very transformative time for the USA, and Pluto bringing up the truth and transforming. And 21, which is 21st today, truth, that's the number of truth will set you free. And 29 degrees, which the moon is in, 29 degrees of Capricorn, is the very intense last degree, as we already said. And there's so many opportunities also coming. And she talked about 15th of July was really the alchemist number, love, compassion, and also allowing life to unfold, and that Capricorn ends a strong, potent time ruled by Saturn, but also about organisation. And 20 degrees, the sun in Cancer, is about home and family and feelings and things. And then we're on to Molly McCord, and she talked about the 29th degrees, both in Capricorn with the moon and 29 degrees Cancer and the sun. And that Capricorn Cancer is about family, privacy, emotional world, heart chakra, and the feelings that you get and the sense of ownership. And Capricorn is more about the world at large, responsibilities, what you handle, how it appears to others, how we are recognised, about mother and father, our lineage and where we come from, linking in with the family and Cancer, and our drives. And what are our goals? What are we accomplishing in 12 months? How are we feeling? What have we paid off and what can we let go? And where are we out of balance? And the conjunction with Pluto might feel a bit uncomfortable, face difficulties and realign, and link with Aquarius for the future. And she talked about like using new solutions and new approaches and to face our fears, really. But Capricorn paces us and says, do not rush things, really, and be, measured in what you do. And then she's talking, sorry, about Pluto requiring change in September, October, November, and that this full moon in Capricorn actually foreshadows that period. And she's talking about the change in personal and collective and more structural things, government, CEOs, those not in integrity will change. And how will we approach these changes, really? And that Pisces, Neptune, they might cause some confusion and mental toll on the sort of processes we're going through. And that also she did mention that energy in August might cause mayhem. So we need to navigate through that. And Capricorn full moon is working with us to do that, really. It's kind of, if you like, foreshadowing that period. And Neptune in Pisces possibly is highlighting where power idealism was granted to false prophets, where we were disillusioned, or where we're disillusioned, and we were too impressed with things that were kind of glamorous. So we might be made aware of that now, maybe possibly following people on Instagram, I think people that haven't got any substance, that type of thing. And in August, Jupiter and Gemini square Saturn and Pisces, so many ideas, but going forward with Gemini and Jupiter, but Saturn might shut down those if they're of no real help to us. And the full moon kind of will begin to bring that up for us. And the world is changing, but she mentioned happy developments happening in August and recalibrating ourselves. And that August 4th is the Leo new moon, so it will actually be good now to get stuff done before that, as she already alluded to, that August is going to be a bit of mayhem on the energy front. And she said we will close the year out in different energies, so honour what we need to get done now. So that's my summary. 16 minutes. Well, I do wish you a very happy full moon in Capricorn, the second one, very powerful. So do what you can to follow what I'm saying if you can. And I wish you a very happy full moon, and see you next time. Bye-bye.